Welcome to the Startup Espresso. I'm Hall T. Martin, the host of the show, where we talk about raising funding for your startup and the time it takes to have an espresso. I hope you enjoy this episode. Hello, this is Hall T. Martin with the Startup Funding Espresso, your daily shot of startup funding and investing. In selling your business, the buyer will look for key financial metrics. Here are some key metrics to include in your pitch. Total revenue. This is the revenue before discounts, returns, and adjustments. This shows top-line sales for the company. Sales in units. Number of units sold over a period of time. This helps the buyer in estimating forecasts. Cost of customer acquisition. This is the cost to acquire new customers. This shows how much is required to gain a new account. Gross margin. This is revenues minus cost of goods sold, yielding gross profit. Gross margin is the gross profit divided by revenues and shows how much revenue is left over for sales and marketing expenses. Growth rate. Percent increase in sales month over month or year over year. This shows how fast your startup is growing. Burn rate, the amount of cash spent over and above the incoming revenue. This shows how much cash is required to maintain the current business level. Fixed costs, costs that are fixed regardless of the amount of units sold. This shows the overhead required to run the business. EBITDA, the revenues minus the cost of goods sold and sales and marketing costs. This shows the amount of revenue available to reinvest in the business. Buyers will want to see these numbers to consider buying your company. Thank you for joining us for the Startup Funding Espresso, where we help startups and investors connect for funding. Let's go start listening to today. Hall T. Martin is the director of Investor Connect, which is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to the education of investors for early-stage funding. All opinions expressed by Hall and podcast guests are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinion of Investor Connect. This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon as a basis for investment decisions.